Hello everyone, and welcome to the next video of my cylinder head refurbishment. This is a Seeley valve seat cutter set, a lovely piece of kit, very expensive, and I'm going to use this to cut some valve seats on the cylinder head of this Laverda 500. Now what you'll find is that there are a number of mandrels here that are geared up so that you can actually fit them into the valve guides, and you can see it's on a slight taper there, so it grabs hold of the inside of the valve guide itself, and then there's a shaft here that allows you to run the heads on. Now unfortunately for the Laverda, the valve guides are 6mm ID, and these are all too big to fit. So what I've had to do is I've had to make my own mandrel. And what I did was I made a section here that was 6mm diameter, so that fits very, very closely into the valve guide. Stuck that on a lathe, and then I made this section here is the same diameter as these shafts here, which fit into the valve cutter heads themselves. I didn't put any pins in here because I don't need to actually force the mandrel out, but this is the mandrel that I made. I'll show you how that works. The cutters themselves, if we have a look at the cutters, they have different angles depending on what you're looking for, and what I've decided to do on these seats is to cut a 45-degree angle on the valve seats. So that is using this side of the cutter. This is a different side here, and you can see that's for 75. And if you wander around here, it says 45. Now these cutting elements here, they need to be adjusted to be all the way in, because the valve seats on these Laverdas are actually quite small, and if you leave them too far out, they won't actually cut into the seats themselves. So you just do that by loosening these Allen keys here, sliding the cutters up a little bit, making sure they don't foul on the bore. And so that fits into, that goes on like that. Very straightforward. This then fits into the valve guides like that. You can hear it running on the seat. There's a driver here that comes with the kit. It's got 3 pins on it, and a hole in the side there. And those three pins fit into the top of it like that. And then you just put this driver through. If you put it to the right side, it helps. And that's it. And you just sit and gently cut the valve seats, and I'll cover that a little bit later. But the important part here is that you don't cut too much, and you keep cutting, checking, and looking at the surface. Now on these heads you need to be careful, because some of the heads, you'll see here, the head itself will cut into it and will stop you from cutting the heads. Okay, so I didn't explain that too well the last time. What I was trying to say was that on some of the heads you'll find that this recess here will actually prevent the valve seat cutter from going down into the valve, and will actually push the valve seat cutter that way, and so therefore you won't get a concentric cut on the valve seat, concentric with the guides themselves. And especially if this is loose, you can see that's actually quite a good fit in the, I can't move that, that's a good fit in the valve guide. If it is loose in the valve guide, this cutter will go to the side and will cut an offset valve seat. That's a bit of a tongue twister. So you just need to make sure that that doesn't interfere with the valve seat cutter. So I've gone and cut all these seats, and you can see there's different thicknesses there. I've got a little bit of work to do here. You can see that somebody had a basher. I'm going to cut that piece of shite out. So you can see here I've cut the valve seats, and some of them are less deep than others. I need to put a little bit more on this one, and then the next step is to lap them in, lap the valves in, and then obviously to check the clearances. Welcome back. This video now is just going to show you how I lap in the valves into a cylinder head, and this is the back on the Laverda 500. I use a medium grade grinding paste, and I put the paste onto the seats themselves. I don't put them onto the valves. and I use a device like this. This is you'll recognise that, it's a piece of fuel hose. I've got a piece of metal stuck in the end of it there. What I do is I then stick this into a drill, and I use that to then connect onto the back of the valve seat, and I can rotate it very, very gently. So with a bit of luck, you should be able to hear the difference in the noise when the valve seats have ground down to the level that I expect them to. I push on this, I don't pull with the drill, but I push on this. You can hear it there, that's it grounded, that's all you need. Don't need any more than that, you just need it to do that until you hear the tone of the grinding mechanism change.